Yeah. Episode 16. Halloween episode. Halloween's tomorrow. I got Jason and Jason playing Jason. Where can they find you at, big fella? Bart's unknown. All right. If you didn't understand that, he said you can find him at Tiger Hilly 19 on IG. And next to him, we got the Michael Myers. Mike, where they at?
Right here. This mask is hot as hell. That's the whole episode. But I'm wearing Mike. And you can find me on Julian Smith on Facebook. I'm still working on a new IG handle name. I'm narrowing it down to about 3 right now.
All right. And last but not least, we got the boy Brian. Where can they find you at, Brian?
Smitty Woods, C365, representing Frankenstein.
Byron Shelley Scott. What was her name?
Got bars.
Byron Shelley. What the fuck was her name? Byron Shelley?
No.
Mary Shelley.
Yeah.
Mary Shelley?
Yeah,
okay, yeah. I'm fucking them up.
Bram Stoker?
Yeah.
Mary Shelley. So yeah, let's start this off real quick. Latest news, biggest news this past couple of days is Anderson Silva losing to Jake Paul. Now, I predicted prior that he was going to take the L. These UFC fighters and these out of end of career people that he keep fighting are getting big pay cuts from one match with him to lose to him than they have in their whole career. And I expect that trend to continue until somebody say, you know what, I'll fight him. If it be a Canelo or somebody, we'll see. I don't think he's gonna take that match personally, but yeah, thoughts on that?
I'm like I said, I was telling y'all earlier outside of this show, but it's a good thing and it's a bad thing. It's a good thing that at least boxing getting talked about. The bad thing is it's Jake Paul getting talked about it for all the wrong reasons. But financially, it's making money for everybody, so I guess it's good for him. But I'm with all of y'all. He's got to fight a boxer now. He's got to fight a boxer or somebody with some boxing talent. And we'll see what happens from there. But the biggest cash cow that's going to end up happening with Jake Paul is probably him and Nate Diaz. Outside of a boxing match, that's probably going to be the biggest amount of money that he's going to make. And after that, I think he's done.
Brian?
Yeah, I just want to see him fight a real boxer. Someone around his age that's got, just the same amount of experience, if not a little more. Because right now these is all like freak show fights. Like they're meaningless. They draw people in because people either want to see Jake Paul get knocked out or they want to see him win. And it's nothing for the opponent. You know what I mean? Like, whoever he fights, they're not going to get the glory if he win. So unless he fights like a Ryan Garcia, like you mentioned, Canelo, I mean, I have no interest in watching him box.
Oh, yeah. I'm kind of indifferent to it at this point because I feel like they're fixed. They're paid to not so much take a dive, but probably paid to not beat you. It's not a full dive, but you're paid not to beat you or not to make you look bad in this fight. So, I mean, and everybody knows I love Anderson Silva. It's my favorite mixed martial artist all time, and ain't no way in hell Jake Paul. But then again, I'm like, yo, he's twice your age. Mm-hmm. His specialty's not boxing. He just boxes because he's a good striker, and it's just something he's doing after his MMA career ended. He's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu technician, but like everybody's saying, Jake Paul's not fighting any actual boxers. Like, they're not boxers. And I still even go back to the Tyrone Woodley fight. You can't tell me that shit wasn't fake.
That was not.
That shit was fixed, and we all know it. But I guess it's just marketing and make money. I wouldn't pay to watch it personally. But it's like one of those things now. Now people are paying to either watch him win because you're a fan of Jake Paul for whatever odd reason, or you're watching to see him get knocked out. But it's not happening because the paperwork is already in.
Yeah. They build it up like it's possibility he can get knocked out.
Would you pay him to fight the Macho Man? Would you pay to see him fight the Macho Man? Right there? Because I tell you what, he'd be lucky to walk out the ring alive. Oh yeah. And then his brother is coming in mind to meet in the square circle. Oh, he's lucky. And he gonna fight the Roman Reigns out to get 1-2. I digress.
He's gonna be Uso.
But I mean. But on the serious, this makes boxing look even worse than what it is, though. That your biggest draw in this sport is a guy that's from YouTube. That's my whole issue with this.
Well, their biggest draw don't want to fight no more.
Yeah.
Mayweather, he done.
I love when Ron Davis said this week, though. He basically said the best guys should be fighting the best guys, period. Yeah. Point blank.
And I am that cream of the crop. Rises to the top.
Oh, he got the creamer.
Yeah,
the cream rises.
The only thing he's missing is snapping into a Slim Jim.
And we got us a comedian. What's next on the topic? We had I don't want to say this wrong. Pete Saffron. What the fuck? Hold on 1 second.
Yo, I wonder.
Peter Safran and James Gunn have. Let me go back to my voice is getting. James Gunn and Peter Safran are teaming up together to run the DCEU. James Gunn, notably doing the Guardians of the Galaxy, the second Suicide Squad movie. But prior, he said he would never do something that role, be that type of role. But I guess him in tandem with the other guy must have lured him. I'm pretty sure Paycheck did too. I am a fan of James Gunn. And I believe he may be the right type of creative person to make sure certain stories get told. And that was my problem, particularly with, how Black Adam left off and certain things that have played out. I am a little bit feeling better about DC now with James Gunn behind the helm. Your guys' thoughts on that? Oh, yeah.
You want to start with Big Jason? Jason?
Go get him, Jason.
I mean, I don't got much to say. I mean, I guess. I don't have too much opinion on it.
Man, a few words. Guess
it's all right.
Mike, go give him a little bit of something, Mike. We'll need a little mad dog.
I'm cool with it. Like I'm interested to see, like you said, what made him change his mind, because he did say he would never take that kind of job. I'm pretty sure it's the money, and maybe he's gonna have more creative freedom than he would have had somewhere else. Maybe
money talks.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't report to anybody else except Zaslav. So he's got creative range. He doesn't have anybody to pretty much say. He's basically going to James Zaslav and basically saying, this is what we want to do. Can you sign off on it? I got mixed feelings about it. I think James Gunn is, I was just doing some reading on him this week. I didn't know he was a real big comic book nut.
Oh yeah.
He's a real. He's a big nut at that. He's a real.
That's Mike, man. Next, you're gonna be saying you gotta miss Elizabeth too. Now slow the fuck down. There's only one intercontinental heavyweight champion of the world, and that is the Macho Ming. The Macho Ming with the E at the end, all right? The Macho Ming.
Off subject, real quick. We have been spoofing this savage thing all night before we even started taping. Some of this is bleeding over into the show. I mean, James Gunn is a real good comic. He's a serious comic guy. I mean, I hope he's going to use some storylines that's going to make this a better product. I mean, it is some optimism with it now because it's looked like I'm not saying they're going to use the Snyderverse still, but they're using a lot of the breadcrumbs that he left with it. But I'm guessing I guess the stories are going to be told there's going to be something new, but they're going to use the same characters. I just want to see what they do with everything within the next 4 years now, because that's the deal that he signed for now. He's only there for 4 years, and after that, I guess he's going to go to the table and see what they're going to do from there. But apparently, they said that him and Safran already have an outline for the next 10 years, but they're not going to really release everything right now. So, I mean, it's a good thing now you finally got somebody in there who at least knows and respects everything respects the property. And if some people are really like kind of questioning, saying that he may be too comical or too jokey, he can get dark because he did produce Brightburn, which was a real dark superhero movie. It was a different spin on it, but you can tell that he's got it in him if he wants to go full range with it.
Right.
Yeah, I'm cool with it. Like I said, just all to see what happens. Because he never wanted that position. Like, I'm wondering, did he never want it because he didn't want the pressure? Or does he think he can't deliver? I don't know.
I think it was basically just because of all that, the old regime that was in there. There was just people all over the damn place.
That too. Maybe he was gun shy and was like, yo, whenever I come up with something, they're probably going to be telling me, no, we got to do this because of X, Y, Z.
Because apparently, I guess the enemy was for the Suicide Squad movie he did was, don't quote me on it, was supposed to be Superman. But they took him out because I guess Walter Hamada didn't want to use him at all. And you got the story you got. So.
I'm hoping that he brings them success because I just want to see more event films. Like, I don't have problems with like superhero movies in general, but I want to see more event films. Like Wakanda Forever is an event film. Ant-Man and Wasp is building up to be an event film just because we know what comes after. You know what I mean? Like, I want him to start doing that kind of stuff with the DC characters. Like, make them feel monumental because Black Adam, as good as it was, feels like a placeholder for something else.
I think that's the problem with that right now. So.
I need them to feel like they're bigger, than what they're coming across right now. Because nothing past the Snyder cut has felt like an event film for DCEU.
Right.
That Batfleck standalone movie.
Well,
it's coming.
So let's just speak on a couple of things we heard about DC. We got a reshaping or retooling of the Green Lantern series, which was supposed to focus on
Alan Scott.
It wasn't.
It was supposed to be
I thought it was Guy.
It was supposed to be Alan Scott, Guy Gardner, and I think Kyle Rayner.
Mm-hmm.
It was supposed to be the core show, but
so now they're retooling it and they're focusing on John Stewart, which is the Black Green Lantern for everybody who,
which is better,
not tracking. But yes, I would agree.
The deal is, I guess it's going to be on like a show, and then he's going to possibly pop up in a movie.
Right.
So I guess that's what they're trying to do. They're doing something similar to Marvel, where they're going to introduce the character now, and it's going to probably him pop up in another film. Because I guess they're going to rehash the whole Justice League thing and try and course correct it to make some sense. But
So
HBO Max?
I would assume so.
yeah,
And speaking of Marvel shows, we just got announced that there is a Vision series coming. I forgot what it's called. Vision
Quest.
Vision Quest, something like that.
Yeah,
so
Vision Quest.
we should be hearing more about what happened with Vision. He's supposed to be in Armor Wars as well, I heard.
Yeah.
But good to hear.
Yeah, I was wondering where he went.
He's been gone.
Yeah, well, you knew he was going, but that whole way how they use Vision to me is crazy because it was based off of another character, Wonder Man, and he hasn't even been introduced into the.
Speaking of Wonder Man, somebody got casted. I heard as Wonder Man. Yaya, I think.
Yeah, the guy from Candyman.
Black Mantis.
Yeah, Black Manta.
Is reportedly rumored to be Wonder Man, who is pretty powerful. If you follow some of his comics, he's a pretty powerful player in the Marvel universe.
That's funny that he up for it after he pretty much said that those kind of movies are not his forte. He kind of said the same thing Zack Snyder said about people standing in costumes being weird.
Well, I make my living being in costumes standing weird. So we'll hear it and take it, damn it.
But I like I like that they are using Jon Stewart though, because I think he has a better story that can suit what's going on now that you can kind of relate with.
Yeah, and that was part of my argument with the Black Adam. What I was trying to say with Black Adam, there's a lot of good stories that they can explore without
Hal Jordan.
milking Superman and milking The Rock because it's The Rock and now he's there, without milking those two things. And we haven't got a good Batman in the DCEU, but there's been Batman movies. So without milking the main players, there are a bunch of good stories that can be told in DC that can help build that universe, which I think will be more beneficial to DC as a whole than just banking on having Superman save the day, or Henry Cavill, I should say, save the day. That's not going to be, it's just surface level to me. If you want to make a good universe and make a good 10-year plan, you have to build some of these stories, you have to build some of these characters out. And that was what I was afraid of when I saw Black Adam, but I digress.
Well, I mean, James Gunn is, I don't think he's going to come in there and intentionally sabotage it. I think he's really got a good gauge on what he's going to use. I think he's well aware of some of the audience members that he wants to see, or some of the characters that they're going to use. I'm just interested to see where they go from there on what they're doing, because it's a lot of rich characters in DC that we don't, that common people don't know, but we know about, that will be really good to see on screen.
Right. Me personally, I would love to see the Green Lantern Corps be the enemy first. I've been pitching that,
and that's possible. That's a thing that they can do.
I have been pitching that for the longest time. It was either them or the place where Hawkman is from. But since we just got Hawkman and Black Adam, it kind of feel like it would be.
Yeah, and I don't think they really determine which Hawkman iteration is going to be.
I think if you do his series, then you do a series with his people coming to fight him because of what happened.
Hawkman is kind of weird because they remade his story so many different times. There's one where he's like a reincarnation.
He dies every other.
Right, and then there's a one where he just keeps reincarnated. There's one where he comes from a different planet, Thanagor or something like that. Mm-hmm. There's a different Thanagor version where he's like not the cop, but he's like it's different iterations. Mm-hmm. And I don't think they explored exactly what he is yet.
And I think that's where a lot of problems is happening. Where
they have time to figure it out. So,
because because at the end, because most of the issues they left out Hawk Girl intentionally. They said because him and their girl Hawk Girl they die in battle all the time, and they end up being reincarnated it's like a doomed romance, which is kind of, it's a crazy, backstory that they have though. I mean, they meet each other all the time. They always fall in love, and then one dies in a tragic battle, and then the other one dies right after that. But that would be hard to pull off on screen because they constantly keep coming back over and over and over and over again. Yeah. So that would be interesting to see.
I reincarnated once as a black machismo.
You gotta stop.
And
I can't, man.
I found Miss Elizabeth on the OnlyFans. And it was just, I don't really know what that's about. But it was a lot of feet pictures and for $9.95 a month. It was.
If we were supposed to hold straight faces for any of this,
no, we ain't doing it. Ain't no way in hell we gonna hold it.
But I digress. You got anything for the?
I want the Green Lanterns to be the enemy.
It's gonna be easy. They space cops.
Yeah, exactly. I want them to have beef with Earth because I want them to say the Earth is off balance because of Superman, Black Adam, the Justice League, and all that, and they come in there to correct it and fight for it. That's what I want.
What?
I think I wrote like the whole story in the group chat once.
It's not a bad idea.
But if you use the Green Lantern Corps would be really good though because they got some enemies on there that they can really play around
especially if it's like Sinestro is he's the main one pushing forward. Like, yeah, we gotta go to Earth and make that correct. And someone's trying to like stop him, and then something happens towards the end, and that's what makes him turn over to the dark side.
Sinestro, a dirty cop.
You got Sinestro, then you got the Manhunters, you got Anti-Monitor, you got Black Hand, you got oh god, what is his name? Phalanx. I mean, it's a lot of cool villains. They can really play something. I mean, a Green Lantern film could be an event film in itself, though.
Something to be the precursor to the dark side.
And I definitely could see Green Lanterns tying into a dark side, especially with the intergalactic element that they have, the space element.
Speaking of him, y'all heard the crazy rumor that they're really gonna try to like retool that whole New God story. I don't know if it's true
in the comics.
No, for an actual film. Because they want to.
Oh, that's right. Because what's her name was supposed to direct it.
Well, Ava DuVernay was supposed to did it, but I guess since James Gunn got a hold of it now, and they were saying that they kind of know that that's who they want to use as the big bad eventually down the line, but they're going to try and like bring her in slow. Yeah, you know who could play her? I got two people: Kathy Bates.
I knew a chick once. I woke up in the motel room, trousers on the ankles, and there was just a lot of back pain. We're gonna leave that mirror there.
I can't. This episode was going off the rails.
Wait a second. Never mind. Go.
Octavia Spencer would be a good granny.
I had an idea, but I completely forgot. I forgot about it that fast. Just can't do it today, man. Too much going on.
We've been ribbing this whole thing before the show. So bleeding over right.
Good weekend.
Yeah. So, we really came here this week for the Halloween episode. As a macho baby, I didn't really get too scared about horror movies. However, there were some that stuck out to me. I got a bunch of jokers. But one of my ones I found intriguing growing up was The Nightmare on Elm Street. It was when a macho baby had a dream, and The ugly face Freddy Krueger came after the Macho Man in a dream. And when I went and saw the movie, he came after people in their dreams, and I said, "Oh shit, this nigga's wildin'." But I didn't say the N-word. Oh, sorry. And so, the Macho Man's coming for you, Freddy Krueger. Madison Square Garden, square circle, me and you. But yes, Nightmare on Elm Street. One of my favorite Halloween themed movies. I'll wait till you guys calm down a little bit. But another one of my favorites. I was a big zombie fan growing up, and the '90s remake of Night of the Living Dead.
Is this the one with Tony Todd?
Yes, Tony Todd, also known as Candyman. Yeah, that was a good movie. Y'all back? All right. Jason, go ahead and give us some of your favorite Halloween movies.
Hold on, man. We're supposed to be doing the top 5.
Yes, so I was trying to go with that. I went through 2 of mine so far, but I'm gonna let some time pass. And Jason, go ahead and start giving some of yours. Oh yeah.
One of you guys might want to start because I'm still trying to tabulate my list right now. I'm trying to figure out.
All right. Okay. Well, one of my favorites is.
All right, wait so 1 goddamn second. This sequin jacket is hotter than a bitch. And the fucking shit is sticking to my back, so I might have to come up out of it. The cream rises to the top. And you know what else rises to the top? Heat. And it's hot than a bitch in this motherfucker. So go ahead, Julian, take it away.
I hope when these people watch this, that y'all having as much fun as me.
Okay, one of my favorites is Blackula. Is the 1970s. That's one of my favorite movies of all time.
Well dressed gentlemen, go ahead.
Blackula was one. I don't know if The Crow is number 2. It is number 2. I got a bunch of them. The Crow's number 2.
You consider The Crow a horror movie?
That's the one I was wrestling with because it
wrestling. And actually, I know a guy that looks like The Crow. His name's Sting, but I'm not going to interrupt. Sorry about that. He's an asshole, goddammit. He tried to touch her Dr. Miss Elizabeth one time.
I gotta do it on camera because I can't. I can hear my wheezing in the microphone.
Yo, Taylor, you gotta dress up as Savage every episode now. You got.
I can't help it. All I can hear is my wheezing.
I got some lozenges upstairs if you need some, but sorry, The Crow. We'll accept The Crow because I get it. It's face paint and Ultimate Warrior. I got it.
And he's dropping from ceilings, killing him.
Yeah.
Rosemary's Baby is also one of my favorites. So.
I can't even look over there.
Oh God, The Omen is another one of my favorites.
Good movie.
The Omen, and I got a soft spot for Killer Clowns and
Killer Clowns in Space.
Yeah, Outer Space.
It's one of the worst rated movies.
I know, but I enjoy the hell out of it just because it's a spectacle film. I mean, you knew it is what it is. I mean, I have fun with it.
Isn't that the one with the sequel where they weren't even clowns? They were trolls.
I don't know.
Which one I'm thinking of.
That might be Trolls.
Trolls 2. Oh, sorry. Trolls 2. They weren't even trolls. That's the worst movie ever. Trolls 2. If everybody want to watch it, Trolls 2. Worst movie ever
It
created.
does have that one best scene when the guy goes, "Oh my god!"
Trolls 2.
Oh man.
Yeah. That's 5? What do we have?
I think that was like 6.
Like I said, I mean, I can go on, but
You just do this.
I can't even look at this way.
Brian, goddammit.
Oh man.
I'm trying to get through this, man.
Jason, goddammit, go with.
Oh, I don't even got them in a certain order.
It's all right. Macho Man. The Savage. All right. The Macho King number 5 is all right.
Oh god.
I'm not a, as I've said before, I'm not a huge gore slasher person. In that category, though, I'm a big fan of Freddy Krueger because it was always funny when he was killing you. So as a kid, it didn't traumatize me. That's what. I'm a big fan of the Pumpkinhead movies. Pumpkinhead, all of them. I love the Pumpkinhead movies. But I like a lot of creepy, like ghost story type horror. So let me think. I mean, I enjoyed the initial Paranormal Activity movies. Actually,
That is.
I enjoyed. It was one, I can't remember which one it was, but it was the thing had a name, and the people in the movie theater were kind of. It was funny. It was messing up the movie. Toby.
Yeah.
And it was like, it was the one scene when they go into the kitchen and everything's gone from inside the kitchen. Somebody in the back of the theater yelled, "Yo, Toby, to clean the whole kitchen shit." I was like, so then everybody was making comments throughout the movie, so we were too busy laughing
To take it serious.
to be scared. I do like the Paranormal Activity movies, most of them. I will say one movie that still kind of scares me. It might have been the movie that scared me the most, The Grudge. I always feel like it's those PG-13 movies that get you. The Grudge always creeped me out because of the sound. And at the time when that movie was out, I was dating a certain person who shall remain nameless. But
It wasn't Miss Elizabeth. Was it?
no, it wasn't her.
I know how she gets down. Everybody slow the fuck down.
So we used to live together in the townhouse. She used to work nights at a hospital. I don't know how she's a nurse, but that's another story. That's a hard story within itself. But she would call me at night, like around 10, 11 o'clock. She called from the hospital and just make that sound from The Grudge. Yo, fuck me up. I used to hate that. She would call me, and then she would come home, and there's that one scene where the Grudge came through the bed from the bottom of the bed and came up and snatched. Yo, she would come home. I'd be in the bed. She'd come under the. Yo, even though the fact that you know it's her, it still traumatized me. So,
Am I wrong for being slightly aroused by
You
this?
had the night.
Coming under the covers with the. That's alright to me. Let me call Miss Elizabeth. Fucking you up, bitch. Alright. I'm sorry. That was number 3. Or was that 4?
I don't even remember.
Let's see. How many more you got?
and then like anything werewolf or monster related, like the Wolfman, all the werewolves in Paris.
Are we
in
talking
London.
about the latest Wolfman that came out? Like
that last one. What was it?
Javier Bardem? No, wrong guy.
Benicio del Toro.
Benicio del
Yeah.
Toro.
I actually like that one.
It wasn't a bad movie.
And can we count the Hellboy movies as horror or
Or
comic? I'll keep them in comic.
Action horror.
I'll keep them in comic. But that last one
with the,
had a lot of horror.
David Harbour. Or are you talking about Benicio or Guillermo del Toro's first two?
The one with Ron Perlman.
Yeah,
Ron
the last one we saw when the theaters.
David Harbour.
Yeah,
that's one.
when they took
Stranger Things. Yeah.
Yeah.
I also got two other ones I wanted to say. I'm sorry, now we're talking hard. It's one called Bad Moon with Mario Van Peebles.
I remember that.
I did see that in the Facebook posting. And
the werewolf movie.
Yeah, it's old, but
You did it after Dog Soldier.
I think it was way.
So do we have a separate category for the black horror movies? Because then we do introduce a vampire in Brooklyn. We have
Tales from the Hood.
Tales from the Hood, and then we have the Leprechaun in the Hood. That's a little short rhyme, motherfucker, but he tried to take my hat once.
Before we went on air, we should have said, "Hey man, whoever break first, man, they got to buy the first round next time."
No, we quit. This is the Lucy version of the horror show. We just totally lost the train of thought.
Now, Jason, you got one more. You only said 4.
Oh man, let me think.
Your dating life?
Right? That's a whole horror series. It's got stabbing and blood in it too.
Oh,
hit by cars, all kinds of shit.
Speaking of car accidents,
Knife in the cake.
Knives with candles in the floor. If she's watching, I'm talking about you. You know who you are, bitch.
Oh my God. Are we actually going to air this show?
Yes.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh man, the laugh track for this, man.
Tower of power too sweet to be sour. Whoever attacked this man's car, coming for you, bitch. He said it, I didn't, but
Oh man. What else is a good one?
so I still got I got three more.
You got 3 more. Jason still got one.
Next on my list, I do have Paranormal Activity. And, when the Macho Man was sleeping alone in the hotels at night after seeing Paranormal Activity, things would go up. You wouldn't know. You would wait a second. I'm the Tower of Power Ranger, and only one cream of the crop. So if anybody's knocking on the Macho's man door, he better do it between the hours of 9 and 5. Coming around here at 11 o'clock to 2 o'clock when the Macho Man has to go on stage is unprofessional. And if it was you, Miss Elizabeth, 9.95 only fans. Alright. Next up on my list. Let me think about this one. The Conjuring one. The Conjuring one.
I like the second one better.
Made me squeeze my butt cheeks just a little bit. And it's just a little. Don't see it. Y'all laughing too goddamn hard. The spandex is kind of tight. Alright. It doesn't get enough circulation when the motherfucker's coming down with the James Wong bongs and there's a lot of loud banging.
Now did you feel threatened to drop an elbow on one of the paranormal monsters?
I told that bitch to snap into a Slim Jim. I'm killing everybody in this goddamn. Look, The Conjuring 1 was a good ass movie. I don't care what nobody say.
And does anybody know? I never saw Conjuring, but
You never saw Conjuring?
I haven't watched it.
Not even the number one?
But interesting thing that I read about it, it's one of the few movies that's rated R, not for nudity, not for gratuitous violence, not for harsh language. It's rated R purely off of how scary it is.
Oh, yeah, we'll clench your butt cheeks just a little. Make sure your bowels are empty because it will snap the turtle right off. So just, oh, yeah. Jason, do you want to go back to your number 5, or you want me to keep going?
Oh, yeah, keep going.
All right, let me think of one last one. I want to mix it up just a little bit. We got a little bit of slasher. We got the zombie. We got paranormal. What am I missing here? There was this one time. Never mind. Just Julian, go ahead. Just you had one lead. I'm not gonna tell the story. It was a porno, all right. It was China. She was in all green. It was recommended to me by a co-host, and I just clicked on the link. But it wasn't the actual movie that did it. It was the virus that stayed on my computer and fucked up everything that haunted me for weeks. And it cost me a lot of money to replace that hard drive.
It would have been better if you had it to tape with the big box. Oh God!
I don't know what happened here.
God. America.
I think
we had this format for the whole week. It just went off the rails real quick, so we apologize. But in actuality, we ate.
I've been drinking sangria and shots and beer and.
Oh God.
Oh, you know what? I got my number 5. It's a tie.
Go ahead, Jason.
I'm gonna go ahead and put down Tales from the Hood and Cat's Eye are my number 5.
Cat's Eye.
Yes.
I've not seen that one.
That's like a horror comedy.
So
What's
And it's like
Cat's
Eye was it 3 different stories
Yeah.
involving cats.
Oh, okay.
and the last
It's
fight,
Stephen King, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
The cat is like in every story, the same cat's in every story.
Yeah.
He's just doing different things.
the cat
Is it
saved
like
the little-
the kitty cat?
Like actual cat, yeah.
The kitty cat.
Yeah.
See, I can't look at Taylor.
Well, it reminded me of another horror movie. Stephen King movie, actually, called, he's escaping me at the moment. Sleepwalkers. There we go. Sleepwalkers, where they were shapeshifters or something, and they were afraid of the cats. I really liked that movie. I was a young lad.
That was an odd ass movie though.
It was a little, and it was cats and kitty cats in that movie, but I digress. I will have to check out the Cat's Eye movie. I have not seen that.
And I got honorable mentions for The Sixth Sense and The Village.
The Village.
I like The Village.
I did like The Sixth Sense. I will probably put that on my list, actually. Let me think about my last one first.
The only thing that messed me up with The Sixth Sense, somebody had already told me what the ending was. So I wish I had seen it not knowing what the ending was. But, still a great movie.
You know what else is crazy? Nightbreed.
Never seen that.
You never seen Nightbreed?
I do not recall the
Clyde
Nightbreed.
Barker.
It's a Clyde Barker film.
Clyde Barker once tried to grope me in the bathroom at Denny's. And, yeah, we'll just leave it at that. I did not see the movie, but I will check it out. All right, Nightbreed.
It's got a good
all right.
ending. The third act is like a big horror fight with these paranormal demons and these cops that is trying to take out the town.
Okay.
It's one of my favorites.
Speaking of demons, Demon Night, I have up there. It's probably in my top 10, but it's not my top 5. But Demon Night, there's a bunch of Tales from the Crypt stories that I particularly fancied and stuck with me. Bordella will blow. Oh, you know what my number 5 is? And it's just because of Selma Hayek. I'm gonna go with her. Thus, until dawn. Oh, yeah. Oh, when you want to talk about feet pics, if that's 1 foot, I would look. Oh, yeah. Selma Hayek. How rude you are, the Macho Man Randy Savage. Selma, DM me. And I'll leave it at that. Anything else, gentlemen?
I gotta drop my top 5.
Oh, you didn't go, Brian. Damn, Brian, you never went.
I just haven't had
All right. Brian's back, ladies and gentlemen. He's gonna give us his top 5. Go ahead, Brian. The show is yours.
I'll say my final 2 is ones that we are. Well, one of them we already been mentioning, but the original Hellraiser is like one of my faves. The first Sinister.
Oh, I forgot about Sinister.
Yeah. High Tension.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
High Tension. I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh, that's good.
High Tension is the French movie that was done by Alexandria Adra. He did the remake of The Hills Have Eyes.
Okay. Hills Have Eyes was a good movie. I never got
The Descent.
Descent?
The Descent was a good one when the girls went spelunking
Down
in
into
cave.
the cave. Oh, yeah.
That one and also the original.
Some parts unknown. Yeah, go ahead.
There's parts on the part. It was an undiscovered cave that they was on.
They should have raised to the mountaintop. Because you know what's at that mountaintop? The cream. You know what the cream is always at the...
All right, another one I think could we classify.
Hold on 1 second. I'm going through my promo. God damn it. In the tower of power, too sweet to be sour, too hot to handle, too cold to hold. In space is the place to Macho Man, the intercontinental heavyweight champion of the world.
Yo, if Tamar start getting up in the chair and start spinning like Savage, man,
I might knock all this shit over, but we'll see when the show is over. God damn it! Go ahead and give your show. God damn it, go.
Oh God,
I think Brian had one more left.
No, that was it.
Oh,
I said the original Nightmare on Elm Street was my 5th.
All right, go ahead, Brian. Julian, go ahead.
Oh man, what's another one that was a good one? You said Demon Knight, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, another one of my favorites is Jason said Pumpkinhead, so that was another one. Oh good lord, I said Rosemary's Baby. Oh good lord, Creature from the Black Lagoon. That's an older one.
That's pretty old. That's when I was a baby, and never mind. Go ahead.
I was going to say, do we classify the original Terminator as a sci-fi horror?
It's a sci-fi. I don't know. It's technically a horror, but we'll allow it for today.
It had like horror elements though.
Yeah.
Because I always just, that was another one I was wrestling with. I'm like,
Cat versus mouse kind of deal. I guess you could filter that in there.
God, it's so.
Because the second was a pure action film.
Oh, another one.
What do we think about the
Lost Boys?
ass to mouth? It came out wrong. The human centipede. The human centipede.
I have not watched it. Refused to watch
What
it.
do we think about the intense, graphic, hostile, and
That was the weirdest fucking movie I ever seen.
hostile? There's another one called the Tusk.
Tusk.
Have you seen
With the
Tusk?
walrus.
Yeah, with the walrus.
The boy from Waiting.
Extreme graphic movies, or what do we
Kevin
categorize
Smith
it?
movie. That's even
Horror
crazy.
film.
There's horror, right? Yeah.
Oh, it's definitely a horror
Graphic
film.
horror.
Yeah. It's a big body horror film, man.
I gotta find Miss Elizabeth.
And you know what? Speaking of what's going on now in 2022, like body horror is what people are trying to make right now. Like I think like the Paranormal Activity films, like they've had their run. Now, like if you look at what's coming out now, a lot of these movies are all body horrors. Like X was a body horror movie. Like was
Terrifier.
Yeah, Terrifier. I haven't seen Barbarian, which I want to watch, but I heard that's like that too. So body
Yeah, I'm
horror.
gonna check that no, maybe tomorrow on the Halloween rotation. I just watched a movie on Amazon called Run, Sweetheart, Run. And they cut corners on the budget, and you can see where, but it wasn't bad. It's a very pretty girl on there,
and also horror movies are the easiest movies to produce
and cheap to make.
Yeah, and if I wasn't the Macho Man Randy Savage, I would want to produce one horror movie just to say that I did. And if I did, it was gonna be the scariest horror movie. Then it may even shock the Macho Man, but I'll save that for the guys like Brian, who with the big brains and the writing skills. However,
This show tonight. Yo, my back is gonna be hurt from laughing at this when we watch this.
Oh, I guess. Okay, I'll tell my story about Nightmare on Elm Street 3
go ahead.
and why I couldn't watch it till I was 18.
Who was it? Was it one of you guys with the Chucky problem or no? Never mind.
No, I had a Freddy Krueger problem when I was young.
That might have been Mean Gene, but go ahead.
No, we had went to go. It was me, Jay, and our cousins and our aunt. We was going to go see Nightmare on Elm Street 3. All of us was hyped to watch it. So I was already shook from the beginning of the movie when Freddy was a little silhouette chasing what's her name, Rosanna Arquette? Is it Rosanna Arquette?
Patricia
Arquette. She's chasing her, or he's chasing after her through the that hallway when she's holding the kid and she's stuck in the blood. That already had me messed up. But the part that got me was when Freddy came out of the ground as a snake. When he came out of that ground, I threw up everything I ate that day on top of this person that was in front of us, who had on this black leather vest with no sleeves. And all I could remember hearing him say was, "Oh man, dude, it's all right." I thought he thought it was like a soda or something. And then he smelt it. He was like, "What the hell?" And I could not stop throwing up. I threw up the whole walk out of Tri-State Mall, the whole ride home. My aunt had to pull over so I could throw up out the side of the window.
Because of the snake?
It just scared me. It scared me to the point that I just couldn't watch it. And I never saw the end of that movie until I was 18 years old.
I actually bought the movie.
Jay brought the VHS and I had to watch it by myself. And I was like, "Oh, this movie's pretty damn good." But before all that, I couldn't even watch the movie.
I was into it, and then next thing you know, my aunt just grabbed him.
She's like, "We gotta go." And I couldn't stop throwing up.
Well, everybody except Brian, make sure you tune into the next pay-per-view when it's the Macho Man versus Jake the Snake Roberts. I can't promise there won't be any snakes involved, but you know the Macho Man will prevail and leave out the ring the Intercontinental Heavyweight Champion of the world. Gentlemen, any last thoughts for tonight before we get up out of here? I'm out of sangria, and I need to get something in my system before. Oh yeah, I just oh god damn it!
Who is responsible for this show tonight?
We are brought to you by I don't want to say the name because I don't want to get sued again. But please drink and drive responsibly. And
It's this shit right here in the green bottle with the watermelons, grapes on it.
Have a nice Halloween, people.
Happy
Be
Halloween.
Safe. Check your kids' candy.
And
And be pleasant.
I can only imagine if this is just the things, the Chris. Sorry, no.
the Christmas episode is not here yet.
Is this the
I'll
Halloween?
make sure to give you a gift, young fella. Don't worry about it. All right.
Yo, wait, I can only imagine what this Thanksgiving show and the Christmas show is going to be.
Well, let's go ahead and wrap this up. We got places to see and people to do. Wait a second. We got places. I did. Yeah, we're going right. Elizabeth is somewhere out there, and
Omaha.
wait a second. I got myself in trouble. God damn it. Oh shit. It's in this episode. So episode 16 was.
Hold on. Because Macho Man did have Miss Madness. And Gorgeous George.
What?
Yeah, Gorgeous.
That's the wrong Macho Man. Don't talk about me. Macho Man. The Macho Man. This is episode 16. You can find the Macho Man at Tri-State Tip on Instagram. That's what they see. And go ahead down the line, big fella. And it's Tiger 19 on IG. And he has something like the taco ticks and the Snapchats and stuff like that. But don't get into all that. It sounds kind of funny to me. And stay away from bathrooms with funny lights. That's all I'm going to say.
Yo, I want to watch this thing for verbatim. I cannot wait till we post this. I'm Julian Smith on Facebook, formerly on Facebook.
Formerly on Facebook.
Can you find you on Facebook?
I don't want nobody to know me after this. If I'm there, I just say hi. I got an Instagram, but I can't.
I can't spell it.
No, I can spell it. I just want something simple. That's common as fuck. Somebody can relate. Looking at my old name like nobody knows what the fuck. Seriously, and this is me. This is my old name. Like, who the fuck is Dan? Why would I spell this all the way out? So I'm going to find something that's easier so everybody can relate. I had it the other day. I said, I swear, I was looking at that the other day. I said, this is too hard for me to even spell. But I'm sober. Instagram, y'all got to give me a new damn name.
Give him some suggestions, goddamn it, Instagram. Give him all right. Well, Brian, where can they find you at? We got to get the fuck out of here. Brian, tell him where to find you at. That's the Smittywood 361 on Instagram. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, that was episode 16. Until next time, we will see you. Peace.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Oh, yeah.